to the RES tutorial on Automation Manager licensing. This tutorial will explain the licensing models for Automation Manager 2014 and earlier versions. Let's open our RES Automation Manager console and navigate to Infrastructure, Data Store, Setup, Licensing. In Automation Manager 2014, the license requirements for the agents are as follows. Agents running on a workstation require 1/2 license. One license can service 2 agents running on workstations. An agent running on the Mac OS X operating systems require 1/2 license. Agents running on terminal services or servers require 6 licenses. An agent running on Unix or Linux operating systems require 4 licenses. Connectors do not require licenses. When a trial version of RES Automation Manager 2014 is installed, 75 evaluation licenses are provided automatically. These are valid for 45 days. To use RES Automation Manager after the trial period, you need to purchase licenses at your reseller. The first step you need to take is to import the licenses. When you order licenses, they will be sent as an RES Automation Manager license file. Save this file in an accessible location. To import a license, start the license wizard by clicking its button in the lower right-hand corner. Select the option Add RES Automation Manager License. Specify the license file location and complete the wizard. At the end of the process, RES Automation Manager will ask whether the license should be registered and activated immediately. Evaluation licenses can be registered immediately but can be used unregistered until the end of the evaluation period. Corporate licenses need to be registered immediately, whereas production licenses can be registered within 30 days. RES Automation Manager shows a warning message for any unactivated production licenses after 14 days, stating that they will expire in X number of days. When you have completed the import process, all relevant information about your licenses will be shown in the license node. You do not need to register your license separately. When you start a registration process with the license wizard, RES Automation Manager will scan for licenses that have not been activated and stores that information in a file. This file will be sent to RES software as part of your activation request. If you import any additional licenses at a later stage, they will be registered using the same procedure. When registering your licenses, a site ID will be linked to your licenses. The site ID contains all relevant information about your organization and your RES Automation Manager environment. To register licenses, start the license wizard again and select Register RES Automation Manager Licenses and Request Activation. To finish the registration process, you have to complete the wizard. The last step is to activate your licenses. Licenses can only be registered and activated through the license wizard. Automation Manager will distribute the licenses among the agents automatically. If more agents have been deployed than licenses are available, RES Automation Manager will check the time of deployment of the agents in the data store. The agent deployed first will get the first license, and so on. If an agent is removed from the data store, RES Automation Manager automatically gives the freed license to an agent that needs a license. Licenses are freed up in Automation Manager when agents in the Automation Manager environment are removed from the data store. In RES Automation Manager environments that have upgraded from a previous version and use the pre-2014 RES Automation Manager licenses, a different licensing model applies. In this model, the license count for agents and servers is different and connectors need to be licensed. Licensing is based on agents and connectors, and if you use the service orchestration model, licensing is based on agents, connectors, and service users. Agent require licenses depending on the machine they run and the type of connector. An agent running on a workstation requires 1/2 a license. One license can service 2 agents running on a workstation. An agent running on a server requires 4 licenses. An agent running on a terminal server requires 8 licenses. An agent running on a Linux operating system requires 4 licenses. The following license requirements are for connectors. SQL statement tasks. This type of task requires a database server connector for each database server on which they are executed. Secure shell command tasks. This type of task requires remote host connector for each remote host on which they are executed. VMware ESX virtual machine tasks. This type of task requires a virtualization host connector for each virtualization host on which they are executed. Exchange mailbox tasks. This type of task requires a mail server connector for each mail server on which they are executed. Microsoft Active Directory tasks. This type of task requires a directory server connector for each directory server on which they are executed. Database servers, mail servers, and directory servers that are located on the same computer can share a small business server connector. Connectors can be set up when you configure the tasks on which they are required or manually at the Node Infrastructure Data Store Setup connectors. If there are not enough licenses available, licenses are distributed based on the date of first deployment of the connectors. When connectors are removed, spare licenses are redistributed automatically. Licenses are freed up in Automation Manager Data Store when agents or connectors in the RES Automation Manager environment are removed from the data store. When all delivered services of a user in a server orchestration environment are returned or deleted. When a serviced user in the service orchestration environment is deleted. Importing and registering RES Automation server licenses in pre-2014 environments follow the same procedure as the 2014 license wizard. This concludes our tutorial on RES Automation Manager licensing. For additional information on RES Automation Manager and the RES IT Suite, please go to www.ressoftware.com.